Alright lads, this video is for those of you who would like to up your Kydex game and you're feeling intimidated by all the really cool sheaths you see out there, the idea of vacuum forming, and maybe you've tried vacuum forming and you struggled with, getting the venting correct, getting the crisp details that you wanted, getting the plastic or the Kydex to pull down where you want it to, and maybe you overheated and underheated and just felt like you wasted a lot of time. What you're looking at right here, this is pressure molding, pressure forming. So these are two aluminum blocks. We've got the female cavity and the male form, and I heated this piece of Kydex up with my heat gun. Not that that's the way to do it, but I wanted to impress upon you the ease with which this could be done. And the other thing to note here is this is my ancient crappy bench vise, and this is one of my 4-inch Tormac vices, right? Got some bits of plastic in there to protect the jaws. So there really isn't much to this setup. I could have just used this vise, but I prefer having the vertical setup. It just makes things feel more stable and efficient. So I'm going to pause right there, and I'm going to move over to the bench and show you what's inside. Okay, so here we are over at the bench. I've just taken this out of the vise. I've not even demolded it. I wanted to make this very raw and real. This is a very shallow form, so there's no draft required, and boom. So just a very simple cavity, and then you can see that this is a fairly clean part. I'll have to examine this more closely, obviously, but just being real with you guys here, it looks pretty good, but I have a sneaking suspicion that end right there, it looks like there's some draft on that, and there should not be, so I suspect that the other end did not turn out well. And before I say that, when I put this up on the vise, I thought I should have a stop right here so that I butt this plate up, flush with the other one. And I thought, no, it'll be fine, it'll self-center. And sure enough, I tore that end off. But what does that mean? That end's getting trimmed off anyhow. What would be detrimental there is if this end of the tool got damaged. It wouldn't be a deal breaker, but it would make me unhappy. So now let's see if we can pop this off. Yep, trim it off. So that's just junk anyways, but I'll put some alignment plates. So I'll put a plate on here that has an angle so that it guides the plate in so that it's aligned. And that's just maybe some plastic and a clamp or something, right? Nothing major. I'm trying to do this super lean. So that end gets cut off. That end gets cut off. So I'll show you. Just bear with me. I'm going to pause. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. So this is the Get Off My Tool number 1 bladed variant. It is the CV, the compact variant. So it's a little 3-finger blade, right? So I wanted to make a deep pocket sheath for this. So what you're looking at here is what will be the initial sheath. So you can see here that I wanted to have a pretty good sizable drain hole. So I'm going to cut that off down here somewhere. So I'll have lots of coverage on the tip, but I'll have a pretty good drain hole. I think that's 3/8 of an inch wide, if I remember correctly. And then you can see back here, I've got extra material because I want to play with this, right? I'll cut this off back here somewhere. I'm playing with the idea of putting a bit of a lanyard on there. But you can see how this width, bit of sheath design tutorial here, the width of that section there is equal to that section. So when this gets in here, it's aligned between here and here. So nothing's going to be shimmying back and forth and rattling. The only movement it really has, besides there's 5 or 10 thousandths of an inch clearance there by design, side to side, but once it's down, you're pretty locked in. And I may put some additional pressure on that from the kydex that goes against the flat of the blade. But we'll see, right? This is an experiment and I'm doing this all live. So there you have it. That is just an inkling of a thought into how I do sheath development, as well as a way that you can make your, pretty crisp, let me flip this over, pretty crisp sheath forms, right? Pretty inexpensively. And if you guys want it and ask for it in the comments, I can show you how to do this a lot more economically. But this isn't a crazy thing to have. If you don't have CNC, this isn't a crazy thing to have made for you, right? There's not very much cycle time there and not very much CAD time. And I just started out with this offcut of kydex, heated it up with the heat gun, stuck it in that form, came up with this. So in a few minutes here, I'm going to chop this up quick and I'll connect it with, I'm probably going to wire stitch these because I've got a bundle of wire stitching to do, which is what I call portable work. So I do more wire stitching than I'd like to do because I literally just have time where I'm away from the shop, where I, if I was a normal person, I would just do nothing or socialize or something, but I would rather work on stuff for you guys. So all that being said, I have lots of ideas for help videos for you guys, but I don't read minds. So let me know in the comments, guys. And also, if you subscribe, that helps me know that this stuff is useful to you, and then I'll continue to put the effort in. So go crush the day, guys.